No spell for you. No spells for you. No spell for you, huh? Yeah. Something like that. Hello, and welcome everybody to tonight's interesting dinosaur action. This is a donation stream by Cloaked Phantom, giving me, whatever to do a list, tweak it, talk about it. I did that deck tech for the specific list, although there is some other changes that I'm going to make. If you want me to try something out as soon as possible, I can make it happen. I can make anything happen if you guys have a suggestion, but of course I do always appreciate the donations, working towards doing this full-time more often. I'd love to do it all day, every day, streaming at the morning, the night, whenever. All kinds of good stuff, but it's going to be a lot of good stuff when we use Myrel, Shield of Argive. On our turn, the opponent can't do anything apart from activating an ability of a land. We'll get into it. Basically, they can't do anything, and if they can't do anything, I get to do my thing. And my thing is pretty devastating, but it is pretty devastating when they stop me from doing it. Even though it's pretty hard to interrupt. They might have a settle the wreckage, some sort of control. You know the type. Actually, I think I have to make myself a little bit smaller. Oh my goodness, I'm completely blocking Tepic Huntmaster's power and toughness. Man, I'm rusty here. Usually I'm quite a bit better than that. Okay, we're good. I think. Fired up, ready to go. We'll start off on this. This is Deafening Dino. What's the idea behind it? A few ideas. Deafening Clarion, the namesake. Deal 3 damage to each creature or creatures we control gain lifelink until end of turn. Pretty fantastic to start out with a sweeper. Silence the chances of various aggro decks, which is quite painful, I must say. That's my weakest type of deck, which is understandable. A regular dinosaur deck, they probably would have had a rough time anyways. But bringing in a sweeper, whew, we get a good chance. And we have the lifelink. We get to stabilize, be super aggressive. Everybody lifelink, attack, deal damage. That should probably get us the win. But sometimes that's just how it goes. You don't have too many early creatures, although with Ripjaw Raptor in, that's going to be even better against some aggro. Deafening Clarion, sweep, Ripjaw. That pings it, we draw a card, maybe it blocked a creature, maybe it scared away potential aggression from various decks. They see a 4/5, they don't have removal, or they have damage-based removal. After Ripjaw blocks, dealt damage, we draw a card. Then they also use their damage-based removal to finish Ripjaw off. But we get 2 cards out of that scenario. They lose a piece of damage-based removal, a stomp, something that deals 3, plus they lose a creature. And I go up 2. Just lovely, lovely. Juan, how's it going? Yes, Naya version of dinos. Whew. It's been a while since I've used Deafening Clarion. Probably years ago. Right about when I was starting off streaming and making the channel. Deafening Clarion and Solar Blaze. That's another tangent I could talk about for, I don't know. Again, I say you guys could ask questions and I'd just go off talking about it. We'd get back on track, and yeah, I could be here for half an hour talking about the potential of Deafening Clarion and Solar Blaze, but we'll focus on the main thing. The thing we're all here for, the fantastic art there. Myrel, Shield of Argive. We deafen, we silence our opponents. During our turn, they can't cast spells, activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. So that basically means they can't do anything. They can activate abilities of lands. We might have to watch out for that, but I'm not too worried. We get this down, boom, we get them. I'm not really caring too much about the whenever she attacks, we make X soldiers, where X is the number of soldiers we control. Could be nice to have some chump blockers. But the main idea, Myrel. Maybe we have 1 Cavern of Souls. Consider this. As you guys may have seen, Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, boom, put any number of creatures from our hand onto the battlefield. If we make Ghalta not able to be countered, she lands. We get the enter the battlefield effect, and part of the batch of creatures is Myrel. Boom, enters. The second this lands, they had Wandering Emperor. Well, they can wander away and concede. Settle the Wreckage. No more Settle the Wreckage. Oh, you're going to activate a Blood Tithe Harvester to take out Regisaur Alpha. They have 2 blood tokens. Blood Tithe activates, sacrifices itself, gives -4/-4 to Regisaur, and that might have been the only thing that was giving everything else haste. And I usually want to attack the turn that I play all the creatures with Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. So we would stop Blood Tithe Harvester from doing its thing, blood tokens, who knows what. The possibilities are endless. It hurts pretty much everybody. Even if it doesn't, we stop a little bit of instant speed removal, and most decks do have a few pieces of that. We just get to do our own thing on our turn, and if I get to do my own thing on my turn, well, that's going to spell doom for the opponent. But consistency is a little bit hurt here. There is no Glimpse the Core, there's no Up the Beanstalk, which that's going to be featured tomorrow night. Big time. Big time. Oh, Up the Beanstalk in this dinosaur list with so many creatures, mana value 5 or greater. Oh, it's been good, but that's getting off on a tangent. But like I was saying, there's no Glimpse the Core, there's not too many Topiary Stompers, nothing that really ramps, so it could be a little bit problematic. How am I going to get my sources of white, though? You might ask. That's a very good question. Red's easy enough with Deafening Clarion, but Myrel, it could come from a Cavern of Souls. It could come from one of the 3 Plaza of Heroes. For legendary creatures, we can add a mana of any color for that. That's good. That's good. Help with Ghalta, Myrel, or we protect that legendary creature. And Sunken Citadel, of course, has the ability to help pay for the 3 needed for Plaza of Heroes to exile, protect somebody, and that somebody might be Myrel on the opponent's turn. As long as she lives through their turn, that's going to be devastating. Oh, they might just be done for anyways the turn she lands, but that's the idea. Nathaniel, how's it going? Hopefully all is well. Oh, strap yourselves in. Now I'm going to beat up on a lot of people. This is very devastating already. There's all the classic stuff that I've been loving the past month, 2 months. Day in, day out. Barfing creatures with Ghalta. No triumphs, yes. It's a little bit interesting. Certainly I could see the triumphs coming in. I probably should trim a few. You know what? Let's do it right now. We'll do Jetmir's Garden. I'll keep it with 3. Yeah. Jetmir's would be good. I was actually thinking of Jetmir's Garden before I started here, but that's a good, fantastic suggestion. Help out with the sources of white. And if I don't need it, of course, I can cycle it away. Lovely, lovely stuff right there. Okay, we're cooking. Got it. Fired up. I'm just happy it's basically free on Arena. They're still pretty expensive in paper, my goodness. But yeah, that'll be our source of white. Cavern of Souls could be the source of white for Myrel. Plaza of Heroes, if Myrel's out, is a source of white for Deafening Clarion. Sunken Citadel, that could be the main thing. I have lots of sources of green to pay for the 2 green needed for Castle. Sometimes I've had Sunken Enter as red for the 2 red that I might need for a sweeper, Brotherhood's End. But because I have white, I could see myself having Sunken Enter, name white, just to get that source online. Prepare for a turn 3 Deafening Clarion against some aggro. I can see that happening. But yeah, that's much better with the Jetmir's Garden there. Absolutely. The game plan is the same, pretty much. Is it going to be a little bit painful early, turn 2-ish? We'll see. We'll see. Should still be good. Lots of power. I can make it happen. We'll get the job done. Yes, yes. Hopefully, good luck with my games. Good luck for the opponent if we land Myrel, that's for sure. Sideboard-wise, get into that quick. Exile all graveyards with Calamity's Wake. Phoenix, Greasefang, any of that stuff. But players can't cast non-creature spells this turn, so we wait until right at the beginning of their turn. Right at the beginning, the untap step, before things untap. We have to enter full control, I believe, to do that. But yeah, we just make the opponent not cast anything. If they only have non-creature spells, it's basically like we get an extra turn for 1 and a white. And then it comes back around to us. And if we have this, they still can't do anything on our turn. And that's just going to be devastating. That's the idea, at least. But Paulo, how's it going? Oh, long time, yes. It's going well. It's going well. It's warming up outside. Things are warming up with the sweepers, the spiciness that is about to happen to opponents. Yeah, lovely Calamity's Wake. I've always wanted to try it. Seems like it makes sense. It's going to hurt the opponent even more. Is it going to be overkill? I don't know. Make the opponent do nothing on their turn, and with Myrel, they do nothing on our turn, so they do nothing ever. Pretty much. That's going to be a lot of fun. My goodness. I'm excited. Giant Cindermaw, as always, for life gain things. Fry. I've been wanting to try Fry. I like that. Rhymes. I could go for some chicken nuggets. McNuggets. Yeah. I love McDonald's. Oh my. But Fry's very lovely stuff. Greasefang, mono white humans potentially, even though taking out one thing in mono white humans, not so good. Mainly this is for the painful Chrome Host Seed Shark. That has caught me out quite a few times in Azorius Control. They bring that in whenever they cast a non-creature spell. They make an incubator token, and it becomes, well, however big the spell they cast is. If it's a spell that costs 6, they make the incubator token with 6 counters. They pay 2 to transform it, and now they have a 6/6. Not so fun. The Chrome Host Seed Shark. Anyway, we're gonna fry the Chrome Host Seed Shark. You get the idea. If we face it. That's been the reason I've lost sometimes against Azorius Control. Very rough stuff. They sweep, but then they recover, or they kill a few things. Not so fun. And Tranquil Frillback to finish it off. Do I need Tranquil Frillback? Chances are possibly not. With Calamity's Wake exiling all graveyards at instant speed, that's certainly quite a bit better than Tranquil Frillback's exile target player's graveyards, not at instant speed. And oh, I made one go away, but not at instant speed, and we have to pay 4, twice as much as Calamity's Wake. That's going to be something to, yeah. What if you're fried, Adam? Yeah, oh, hey, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Oh, with Ghalta, very, very good. Absolutely. I'm always here to give new ideas, whether it's a donation or not. Certainly doesn't have to be, but that is always nice. Once we get back to Tranquil Frillback. Back to the Frillback. Okay. Right, I say we lock it in right there, get into the matches, and yeah, it's basically all the same. Herbivore Dino, yeah, that's what I'm calling up the beanstalk dinosaurs. I'll save that for tomorrow. But yeah, the list is basically the same, a little bit less consistency and ramp early, but all the big stuff, all the lands that continue to power out and make explosive damage. Fry could be good against Angels, yes, Nathaniel. We've got the Giant Cindermaw, 3 copies, although if I kind of suspected Angels, I'd certainly have the full playset. But Fry, I'd bring it in for them. If I can take out certain specific Angels on the spot, sometimes that's all I need to buy myself a little bit of time. If I don't have that life gain hate, it could be good. Bishop of Wings, 2 white for the 1/4, gain 4 life whenever an angel enters the battlefield. That's something. This hand is something that, I mean, I don't think I even have to explain it too much. 2 Sunken Citadels in Castle Garenbrig is 6 green plus Cavern of Souls. Woo! Man. Could be Boros Heroic, unfortunately. Boros Convoke, also painful. Oh, wow. Speaking of Boros Heroic, yeah. Yikes. Naya tokens, red, white, and green. This could be problematic, but hey, again, at the very least, I'm looking at 7 next turn. I wish I had Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Pretty good. Pretty lucky. Elementals, okay, four color elementals, all right. Deafening Clarion would be... Oh, wow, there you go. There you go, turn 4 Tyrranax Rex. Thumbs up. Get the job done. That's pretty good. Yeah, surprise. But I don't think that's going to happen all the time. That is very rare to see 2 of the 4 Sunken Citadels plus a castle. But if you do, I wouldn't even think about that. With 3 lands, you represent 6 mana. You don't have to worry about Thoughtseize making you discard a Sunken or a castle, which is pretty good. That's got to be scary for them. That's a good way to start. Next turn, Palani's and Regisaur, or it's going to be a mixture. Regisaur Alpha plus Ghalta. That's a total of 7. But Castle and the Sunkens make 6. Cavern is 7. So I'm able to do that, finish them off. Hopefully. Yeah. I Rexed his plans, absolutely. Two Risen Reeses gets out of control pretty quick, but not as out of control as I'm about to get. Deadly. Oh boy, oh boy. Here goes nothing. Yeah, even this. Even if you have like 1 explosive creature, you played Carnage Tyrant on turn 4, then you have 7 mana on turn 5. With that 7, you play Regisaur or Palani's. Well, just a second. I gotta make sure it does this right. It almost didn't. I don't think. Either way. Boom. 7, dead. Perhaps they could have a leyline binding with that Fabled Passage. That's a very real possibility. Sometimes I do see... Okay, good.
Ruthless aggression.
Well, it's interesting. You never know how it's going to go. You might not see the things you bring in to feature for a night. Some nights that's just how it's been. I've kind of done some tweaks, and then I've just gotten the job done, and the stuff just hasn't really shown up. And okay, what do I want to bring in? I'm kind of tempted to bring Fry. There's a lot of blue stuff, some white stuff, of course. Omnath. If you see Omnath, you kill Omnath. Fry certainly would do the trick. I don't see them doing much of anything on our turn, so it seems pretty reasonable to just trim Myrel. Pretty straightforward right there. Yeah. Yes, that is definitely just what happens when you play Ghalta. She has haste. Whew, scary stuff. Lovely when that's the potential. Now, this hand does not have a very good potential at all. Maybe if it was Jetmir's Garden, I'm getting my white or red, at least for Deafening Clarion. Nice to see 2 of them just to keep elementals down, because, yeah, they can get out of control real quick. This seems pretty reasonable, though. I'm going to give it a go. Mostly because I like seeing Sunken Citadel. Hope to see something, some source of white. Yeah. Certainly could have been a little better. Quite a bit. Finally choosing white. I almost chose green there, but we got that locked up, plus the source of red. If we see a Deafening Clarion, it's going to be definitely good. That's for sure. But I could have messed myself up. I might not be able to play Ripjaw. Potentially, I'd be very surprised. It'd be pretty hard not to be able to play it. Ooh. I don't like that Brushfire Elemental. That is massive. We really want to start sweeping them at some point here. Although, Commune with Dinosaurs, that should be pretty good, I would think. Okay. Ooh, that Mabel. Oh my goodness. A little bit unfortunate, having to send the sweepers to the bottom and the fries. It's a lot of non-hits, actually. That's pretty rare to have only one thing that I can grab. It doesn't happen often. That probably would have been basically the second time I can remember whiffing, if I did whiff. Okay. 3 threes and 10, 12. I think that's it. 10. 12. Oh, yeah. Huh. Ouch. Painful. Okay. Well, we did something so good that the algorithm had to stick it to us, maybe. Game 2. But at least you see and you know and you're reminded what could happen with that first game. The ultimate potential in that hand is an absolute keep. Jetmir's, like I'm saying. We got all the sources I need to make the magic happen. Certainly Sunken Citadel. Green? Technically I do need red. Gonna choose red just in case I get Deafening Clarion. We got our source of white, source of red. Cavern of Souls is that third mana. I don't want to be held off Deafening Clarion if I get it. I certainly want to take out that Brushfire Elemental if at all possible at some point here. Hopefully I can take out somebody with Fry this turn and they don't continue to sit in my hand. That could be problematic. Not too bad. Ripjaw Raptor, of course, could be decently scary for this opponent. Might get to a 5/5 if they have a Fabled Passage that enters, they crack it, plus another land enters, so I wouldn't be able to trade with the Brushfire Elemental. Oh, phew. Okay, good. Oh, wow, there's the Omnath. Not so bad. Yeah, don't attack. Smoke them. Yeah, I was thinking of playing Palani's Hatcher or Regisaur Alpha, but I'd rather just take out Omnath. Don't ask questions. Yeah, pretty easy, straightforward. We got time, and they certainly could have been explosive. Not killing the Omnath could have spelt our doom. If they drop a Fabled Passage, they would have made so much mana potentially. Not too bad. Realm Walker. Playing whatever creature they name off the top. I've used it in Dinosaurs before. Probably a few years ago. Let me think. Green and white elemental. Okay, so I can use Fry on the elemental token that's made when Voice of Resurgence dies. It has power and toughness equal to the number of creatures they control. Not so bad. Another Jetmir's Garden. Now that certainly is quite nice. Palani's Hatcher, though, we'll get that down. It does have the better potential than Regisaur Alpha. Eventually, Palani's Hatcher would equal 11. That'd be quite nice. 2 tokens that are 3/3s, plus Palani's power at 5. But Regisaur Alpha immediately is 7 power before combat, so that could be a little bit more beneficial. If you're playing Ghalta Primal Hunger, you might want that extra boost because you want to play her before combat because you want to attack with her. It all depends what you got. Certainly take out that Realm Walker. I don't want them playing a bunch of stuff off the top. I'm always scared of that potential. That's okay. Oh, hopefully it's not Fabled Passage. Watch it be Fabled Passage. Oh boy. Ooh, phew. Good stuff. Okay, not so good. Really should have brought in Tranquil Frillback, but at least, I figured, I mean, it is pretty common that Elementals has Leyline Binding. They have a wide mixture of land types, so it's pretty easy to cast it, that's for sure. I also like another Ripjaw. Scare away their aggression. That's good stuff. Make them cry. I'll just keep taking out Omnath. And again, at the very least, I have this jump blocker with the egg, which I gotta say I love. I continue to love about Palani's Hatcher. It's 3-in-1. 3 blockers, you get a 3-3. Maybe they take out Palani's Hatcher before combat, before she can crack one of the eggs. That's rough, but you still have them left behind at the very least. Wish I had Back to Nature, destroying all enchantments. That would have been pretty fantastic stuff. Where's that sweeper though when you need it? Absolutely, that would be the devastating thing. I would hope to see it pretty soon. There is 4 in the deck, and we're getting about a quarter of the way through. That's pretty good. Okay. Can't play it, sadly. If there was a Castle Garenbrig, man, we would be smoking them. I like swinging with Ripjaw. I want to see what I draw. Okay, we should be good. I wanted to chip away a little bit, but still feel pretty safe with Regisaur and the token. If I have to, I'll just use the token to block, save myself just enough, potentially. But those Brushfire Elementals going to 4-4. Oh, yes, going to 4-4. A little bit scary. Could still make it work. Maybe they have something up their sleeve. I would be surprised if they had something up their sleeve, though. Some sort of instant speed combat trick, that sort of thing. Now I can take damage from both Voice of Resurgence and Kahira, but I certainly want to keep Regisaur Alpha alive. Definitely. Yeah, I guess it has to be Brushfire Elemental, unfortunately. Well, maybe I get some good stuff. Don't exactly need Sunken Citadel, and sadly our chances have sunk. Nuts. That's alright, that's alright. Sometimes you don't see a thing you bring in, even if you have 4 copies, even if you have 8 of a particular effect, a particular thing you want to do. And that can feel kind of rough. You play multiple matches, multiple games, you just want to see this thing. You have it for this specific matchup that you've been facing. You got the hate. You got 8 hate. And even with 8 hate, you don't see it. And that's not great. But it is a possibility. I need more coffee though. I made an actual pot. Brought up the coffee maker from the basement. That's good stuff. Oh. Bars, yes, bars. Sometimes I get pretty good. I got the good flow, the lit flow or something like that. Ugh. Yes, maybe. I'd feel a little bit better if it had a Sunken Citadel or a Castle Garenbrig. I knew the mixture would be there because with no Glimpse of the Core, Sylvan Scrying to dig for a specific land, put it into my hand. Well, that's not grand because I'm going to see that combination a little bit less. One mulligan. Ooh. Oh, I should have kept it. Oh boy. Darn. Eventually, once we get there. Yeah. Can't be worse than that. It can only be better, pretty much. That's just rude.
It's a trap!
Yeah, man. That's... Okay, we got there, finally. Yikes, double yikes, absolutely. I'll send Tyrranax Rex and Regisaur Alpha and Commune with Dinosaurs to the bottom. It's not the worst thing in the world. Sunken Citadel to start is white. I'm going to have Deafening Clarion. And it is Jingathid the Wellspring, so Rakdos Sacrifice, some sort of deck with creatures. And maybe Deafening Clarion buys me some time. It'd be extra hilarious to actually win with this hand, but I've won with less. I've won with a single land before. Okay. With a single land before. That doesn't make me feel too good seeing high with the Eye Tyrant. At least maybe they don't have Thoughtseize. That'd be good. Yeah. I've won with less. Play a Blood Tithe Harvester. Watch me smoke it. Oh, you played a Blood Tithe. Now the question becomes, do I be greedy? Take 3. Or wait to maybe kill something next turn to get a little bit more value. I'm going to do it. I could draw land next turn, which would mean I'd want to play Ripjaw. They could have no more creatures. Fable. Good, okay. At least I'm taking out the goblin. I stopped them from making treasures, but... yeah, it's got to be Sunken Citadel. Use that for the source of green, grab a land for the turn, and then still play you-know-what. Deafening Clarion. Now that's pretty decent. This is pretty good. Clawing our way back. If I see Castle Garenbrig at any point, I'm able to make 6 green, 1 red or green, and then one of... maybe I should have waited. No, I was not going to wait. At the very least, with Ripjaw Raptor, the opponent can't steal it with Claim the Firstborn. For 1 red, temporarily stealing, gaining control of a creature with a mana value 3 or less. Maybe it won't die. You never know. Or they meet the requirement of Fatal Push. Pretty easy. Yes, I love it too. Cloaked Fanta. Okay. Hey. Well, I don't love that, but Deafening Clarion to take some guys out. Decent. Maybe I top deck 1. That would be pretty good. Not so much, but hey. Castle Garenbrig. You can do it. Oh, we got it. Look, play it. We're rolling in it. Yeah, I'll go Regisaur Alpha instead. This is Rakdos Sacrifice. Those eggs are 0/1. Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage whenever a permanent is sacrificed. So if anything's going to live, this stuff would live a little bit easier, maybe. Yeah, Fatal Push. Something. At least they don't have the Cauldron Familiar, so that's that's something. But we're probably dead. Yeah, 100%. I'll let it go through just because I feel like it. But when they have 1 Mayhem Devil, that probably does you in. When they have 2, also, not great. And then when they get the oven and the cat, as always, making lots of treasures, doing whatever they gotta do, no chance, not even close. They don't even have to have spells for the treasures. They can simply sacrifice them to make damage with the devil. Scary. This is actually... I don't remember the last time I faced Rakdos Sacrifice. It really could have been two weeks, maybe. Maybe it was a week. Pretty uncommon. It's still widely spread. Is it Phoenix or Grixis Phoenix? Yeah, that's probably the most common. One of the most common, definitely. Rakdos Sac, not so much. Okay, I know what I gotta do. Do I want to keep Myrel? Do I want Calamity's Wake? Exiling all graveyards, nice, but we don't get rid of the cat. Keep that in mind. If I played Calamity's Wake, they can respond to it. They can bring the cat out of the graveyard with a food or do their thing. We would have to hit the graveyard after they've done their cycle, which is a very real possibility. If they haven't thought seized, and they don't know I could do that, it could really catch them off guard, but they still have so many ways to sacrifice and deal damage. Certainly the cat and the oven combo is pretty good, but it still can be pretty bad. Tranquil Frillback? Maybe. Maybe. Take out the oven? Perhaps. Buy us a little bit of time. You know what? We'll do that. Certainly, I can see Tranquil Frillback being quite a bit more helpful here. They do some stuff on our turn, sacrificing the cat. They'll block a big creature. Hopefully it has trample, but if the big creature doesn't, the cat blocks it, they sacrifice it before damage is dealt, and then none of that damage goes through. Then they get the cat back, and the cat came back. The cat always comes back, but maybe not with Tranquil Frillback. Definitely. Could be a little bit rough. I definitely want to tweak this, add in some more sources of white. Would that be right? You know what? I'm still going to choose green. We've got Castle and Sunken. I don't want to mess up the potential of that. Being able to make 6 with the 4 lands that I am looking at currently, it's going to be really good. If I see another Sunken, I'll choose white to get my source for Deafening here. It'll be definitely good. Something. Certainly not playing Tranquil Frillback. That is the hard part. Oftentimes, if you don't have cost reduction, Tranquil Frillback, it doesn't cost 3, it costs 4 at a minimum. You don't really want to play or pay 3 for a 3/3 that does nothing. That never really feels good. But hey, at least I get to take out Fable, plus I have it left as a creature to block. Decent enough. They don't get to sculpt their hands. Maybe they're flooded right now. They were looking forward to getting rid of 2 lands that they had in their hands. Not anymore. Could see Tranquil going away. Probably. Yeah, if I only had 1 more mana, you know, I could exile the graveyard or gain a bit of life. Offset maybe some of that early aggression. Perhaps getting hit by a Bloodtithe Harvester. Okay. Oh, they have a Fatal Push. My goodness. Oh boy. It was still alright. We get to play still some big stuff. Yeah, definitely Regisaur Alpha. Like I was saying, the 0/1 egg tokens. Not the best feeling against this. But still love to have it. It's not like I would cut Palani's Hatcher. It's a bunch of bodies. They gotta send some resources towards the eggs, perhaps. less damage that goes towards me from the pings. Maybe it buys me just enough time. And there's that Claim the Firstborn. So if, again, you don't have any of the small creatures, they can't be claimed, they can't be fatal pushed, all of that. Now they will sacrifice the treasure at least, plus the token. Regisaur Alpha is going to die when it does block the goblin. We'll just make it happen. We'll get rid of that. Make them have less treasures, perhaps. Oh, and I just realized I didn't even turn on the KO border. Well, it's changed now. I might switch it up there. I like the Proud Dino, though. Even if it doesn't go so well, he's still proud of sticking with it. Taking out the Witch's Oven, though. I like that. Sadly, I only have one green, so that also hurts Tranquil Frillback a bit. There's definitely a lot of things to consider. Certainly room for improvement with this list, but a very good potential, nice potential with that Deafening Clarion. I could see myself trimming Plaza of Heroes, make it a Temple Garden, green and white, I think would be right. Sources of green still. If Sunken has to be named as white for Deafening Clarion, then I draw that later on. I didn't need to name it as white, but you get the idea. A little bit more consistent than perhaps it is at the moment. Would be nice to get Tyrranax Rex though. Big time. But you can imagine, I just have all this ramp, I do all this stuff. Deafening Clarion, perhaps that would have been Sylvan Scrying. I grab another Sunken Citadel, use that to power it Tyrranax Rex. Perhaps could have powered it out a little bit sooner, a little bit better, and we are a little bit dead. But yeah, sadly, held off of Deafening, but tweak it a little bit more, we would have been able to smoke him, I would imagine. Now, darn. We'll get him, we'll get him. Next match. I'm still having a good time, so win or lose. I love trying stuff. I certainly don't try stuff too much. I love to refine pretty much the same list again and again and again. But if you really want to see something, yeah, I'll do it. If it's not dinosaurs, it might have to wait for April Fools, the one day a year where I play a deck that isn't dinosaurs. I still say the most recent April Fools where I played an unoptimized Azoria Spirits, and then I beat an actual regular optimized Azoria Spirits deck. Oh, that was the icing on the cake. Man, that was good. I just want to see Myrel come down against a control deck. It's already very nasty and painful for them with the Carnage Tyrants, Tyrranax Rex, but making them able to do nothing, absolutely nothing. But another Ghalta, the back-to-back Rakdos Sacrifice, that would just be wacky after having almost never faced them once in the past 2 weeks, I think. And back-to-back, that's just how it goes. Extra wacky. I'm going to turn Commune into Castle Garenbrig. As long as I make Commune into a land, they can't Thoughtseize away Commune, because, okay, well, Boros Heroic jinxed it, I guess, maybe. Well, that's alright. Sunken Citadel would be pretty sweet. Perhaps the Miro could have been Sunken Citadel. Okay, well, I'm not winning this one. I'll tell you that straight up, 100%. Not happening. But, Fry, we're going to take out the Illuminator Virtuoso. On site, you don't ask questions. If you're going to kill something, you're facing this deck, that's what you're gunning for. If at all possible. Maybe the Dreadhorde Arcanist, but usually it's Illuminator Virtuoso. Hey, I get her down. I get her down. I'm going to have to deal with that guy being pretty darn big, though. I would imagine they have Reckless Rage, dealing 4 damage to take her out, sadly. Usually it's that. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, but chances are they're just not worried whatsoever because they have a 5/3 double strike. Oh my goodness, I've never played against Boros Heroic in my life. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. That is also a pretty painful matchup. It would be normally painful for any variation of dinosaurs, usually. Maybe you have a little bit of interaction. You tried to do your Savage Stomp. 1 green, if you target a dino, you put a counter on them, they fight something, but they have 1 source of white left. God's willing, or any number of ways to protect that creature. Painful. Going to be looking to smoke the Illuminator Virtuoso. Big time, right away, the second it lands. We'll trim Fry, certainly. Trim Myrel, pretty straightforward. This deck isn't doing a whole lot on our turn. Basically nothing. They supercharge all their creatures on their turn, so Myrel, pretty easy to switch it out with that Fry. Give us a chance. We got that instant speed interaction. Virtuoso. I mean, that is like a premium prime hand. If I was starting first, if I didn't know what I was facing, I would suspect with Ghalta, I mean, it could be Elementals, Boros Heroic as we're seeing, Rakdos Sacrifice, so it could be quite a bit. Okay, that's much worse. Oh, we got the Fry. We got the Fry. All right. That's what we're going with. At least we get to kill the Virtuoso. Play it. Watch it go down. Sometimes it's too little too late. They only have to have at least 1 creature, and that buys them time. Okay, well, they're really mousing over that. Interesting. Grab the Plaza of Heroes. I want to use Commune to have my 3rd land for next turn. If they play the Virtuoso for 2, and they're not going to be doing much of anything anyways. Play it. Do it. Maybe they're scared of removal. They see I have... Okay, well, Dreadhorde Arcanist I can't kill, sadly. Now we're going to be killing that. And hope they don't play the Virtuoso, but they could have played a land. They have 3 Virtuoso for 2 and they're left with 1. Phew. This should be okay. Maybe. It's still painful, but it's not the Virtuoso with double strike. So that I like. Okay, that's pretty good. I could drop Palani's Hatcher or Regisaur Alpha next turn. Dreadhorde Arcanist, not the scariest thing in the world. Although they could play a bunch of spells that all that all cost 1. Powering up the Arcanist. Or just powering up the Virtuoso for next turn. Making it even more deadly. Deafening Clarion would be good, although I don't have the mana to make it so, unfortunately. Okay, well, that's I'll just see how big it gets, but that's gonna be it. Alright, yeah. Hey, at least you see some of the reasons why I certainly appreciate trimming all that early stuff. The stuff that just, it always dies. But I still get there for the big stuff. The devastating things. Ripjaw Raptor, it is lovely. It has absolute crazy potential. You land it after you play Marauding Raptor on turn 2 for 2. You play your 3rd land on turn 3. Ripjaw Raptor is reduced to 3 with Marauding's ability there. Marauding pings it, you draw a card. Ripjaw blocks later on down the line, you draw a 2nd card. That gets out of control real quick. It's real good. Hey, that's alright. We'll get him. We'll get somebody good. Kind of like that first game. Maybe I expended all my good graces with the algorithm. Nah. I don't believe in that. There is just variance. You see all kinds of wacky stuff. You just got to experience a lot of, the extremes. The highs, the lows, learning what you can achieve potentially with all kinds of variations of hands. But this, I like it. Again, the Plaza, that seems to be the prime target, the big target. Just get it as a source of white, a dual land, the Temple Garden, whatever. Green and white, red and white, but it still probably would be green and white to help with Castle Garenbrig's ability, potentially. But you can imagine, if this was a Temple Garden, we're looking even better than we were, or than we are right now. Well, we'll see what we get. Sunken Citadel, perfect stuff. Gotta be green though, yeah. We got Castle, Sunken, which kind of is a painful place to be in. If I need Sunken for, oh boy, I would have liked it. Sunken in white, had I known this was some sort of Deathtouch. Smoke 'em. Deafening Clarion is going to be absolutely wonderful. Hopefully. Yeah, that would have been good. Slow them down. We still have a chance. They hit us for one. We get 2 poison counters. We still got quite a few turns, I think. Maybe. We'll see. At the very least, I got Ripjaw. Hopefully they don't have too much removal. Certainly I'm just going to block one of those creatures with Deathtouch. Draw a card. Maybe get my source of white. Whether it is a Sunken Citadel, one of the 2 Jetmir's Gardens. Hopefully. Or it's that. Certainly a pretty classic thing, a normal thing to see in a toxic, poisoned... Oh, 9, we're dead. Okay. Well, we don't have the mana for the sweeper, unfortunately, but I'll keep it as is. I want to play a lot of matches, and just seeing one painful scenario. It is, sometimes eye-opening. One pretty clear point. Maybe some of you guys would have picked up on before, but one very clear point in one match. You want to live it, I think, at least a few times, just to get it into your system. The Plaza of Heroes needing more sources of white, as I was a little bit worried at the start of tonight. We'll switch it up. Maybe after this, but I like seeing Sunken. Good, 4 lands, Plaza. We'll get there. I'll still choose green. We don't see a Deafening Clarion. If I had Deafening Clarion in, I'd be more inclined to choose white or red. Probably white though. But it's looking extra good. Seeing a castle, we would hopefully start to get Carnage Tyrant on turn 4. Maybe a Commune to dig for a castle, or just the castle itself, hopefully. That'd be pretty sweet. Of course, all this stuff would have been in the normal list. It's not like one of these cards would have potentially been a Sylvan Scrying, which I could have grabbed the castle with. Ooh, okay. Well, next turn I get Regisaur Alpha at the very least. And it can't be countered, which is also good. Man, that's so nice. Oh, so we got a Deafening Clarion. But sadly, I still need a source of red and a source of white to play it. And we're not there. At least I get a 3/3. I get to block the Beluis Skull Dweller. Or I don't. Ouch. All that proliferate and toxic. Pax Punch. Even if I had a sweeper, most of the poison counters that happened, they came from spells. So the sweeper wouldn't have done a whole lot. Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's lots more to think about, certainly with something that's splashing the color 100%. Well, I'm not dead yet. I certainly have to block. Unfortunately. Oh, indestructible. Huh. Well, I'm not dead yet. I'll just keep playing those Carnage Tyrants. Oh, 100%, yeah. Sweeping. I will leave it there. Yeah, sweeping and gaining life. You take out all their creatures, maybe you're still pretty low, 2 or 3, but the life gain that everybody gets with Deafening Clarion, it is a lovely package, 100%. If you're going to pay 3 to sweep for 3 damage, if you can easily do it consistently enough, also tacking on lifelink makes pretty good sense. Ripjaw Raptor as well, which I think a lot of us know, classic, lovely with Deafening Clarion. You know what, maybe I'll switch it up. Yeah, I like to play a bunch of matches with any list, whether I've made it myself or not, exactly as is, even if I do realize a pretty clear change that could be made. Plaza, we'll get that out of there. Stomping Ground, well, I do need sources of red. Another Jetmir's Garden, possibly. You know what, we'll do it. Topiary Stomper, out of there I think. 1 copy, yeah, not so much. Now where is Temple Garden? There it is. I like the looks of that. Another Temple Garden. Let's do it. Apply the styles. Get her done. Yes. I've been wondering about that. With a slower deck, 100%. If I don't have the stuff that costs 1, the stuff that costs 2, yeah. Mana Confluence, that would be definitely. You know what? Let's do the snow. Let's do the Snowlands, Slowlands. I got a lot of snow out. There's snow on my mind, but 100% the Slowlands. Temple of Plenty. Or really, Jetmir's Garden again. I'd rather another Jetmir's Garden. We can make that work. And then I still get my sources of red. I do like the manlands as well. Again, I'm using Sunken Citadel, so the manlands have that lovely potential. Certainly Restless Prairie, which I've kind of been considering. Whenever I do go with 9 dinos, I thought I'd call it Dinosaur Farm, having llamas as well as dinos, maybe other creature types, but making this into a 3/3 when it attacks. Other creatures I control get +1/+1. That's pretty good. If I have a bunch of stuff, Plenty's Hatcher, I make 3 things bigger. Regisaur Alpha, I make 2 things bigger. That could be the final push in some cases. Possibly, but yes, Slowlands, absolutely. Nothing for 1, really. Commune with Dinosaurs you can cast at any point, and you might want to save it. See what you draw in the first turn or the second turn, and that could change what you would want to grab when you do play it. Wait to get a bit of information, unless you need a second land for turn 2 if you're doing something very, very greedy, which I sometimes do. But yeah, slow lands that always enter tapped, definitely a good thing. Sunken Citadel always enters tapped. I don't care because I don't need that 1 mana potentially for a creature on the first turn. Or the second, I have Sunken Enter, it's tapped, but then I use it for green for a Commune with Dinosaurs on turn 2. And I might grab a second Sunken with Commune, and that second Sunken is my second land, my land for the turn. And then I play Castle Garenbrig on turn 3. All those lands, the first 3, keep entering tapped. It's a little bit slow, but once that Castle Garenbrig lands with those 3, I make 6 green. Pretty good. Speaking of, there we go. I get 1 more land, I make 6 for the Carnage Tyrant that I have. That is, well, I don't. But, yeah. Definitely. I could see Leyline Binding, huh? Been wondering about Leyline Binding. Yeah, that would be good. With Jetmir's Garden. Ooh, having all those types. If I could have enough that were plains. I definitely want a few more plains. The Temple Garden or something like that. The Triomes, though. Yeah. Or just a bunch of Triomes, not necessarily only Jetmir's. Zayator's Proving Ground. Yeah. I'm gonna think about that. I like that as a nice spin. But again, hey, there you go. Hopefully they don't have Shoulder's Edict. 4 lands, 6. You can't kill. How I got to 6. Decent. I don't have to worry about the fatal pushes, the go for the throat, the stomp. I do have to worry about the making me sacrifice it, but that's pretty durable. Yeah, I have never considered that yet. The angle with the Triomes as a way to do Leyline Binding or potentially other stuff that cares about specific land types. And sometimes I still do Flood, even though I use a pretty low amount of lands. But that's because there's Castle Garenbrig and Sunken Citadel. Just a T-Rex. I could potentially play it next turn if I draw a land that enters untapped. But I still like the Regisaurs, Palani's Hatcher, the stuff that has haste. If I had only 1 T-Rex, I wouldn't have discarded it. Heartless Act, removal. I like playing stuff that they can't remove, sadly. Now the question becomes, if we want to play a thought experiment, Ripjaw Raptor, what could that have been? What would that have been in the list that I'm using right now? Would Ripjaw have been Sylvan Scrying? I didn't state that to begin with. You know, sometimes I do. This specific playset would have been this other playset. If I see Ripjaw, it's as if I would have seen the Sylvan Scrying, which would have grabbed another Sunken Citadel, which, well, certainly would have been better. Just playing the Ripjaw just to lose it, to gain nothing, doesn't feel so good. Unfortunately. Partly why I kind of moved away from Hulking Raptor, which does have amazing potential. At the beginning of our pre-combat main phase, we make 2 green, but it does have to last a whole cycle, and that doesn't always happen, unfortunately. Maybe I ripped on Ripjaw Raptor a little bit too hard, and then it gave me another copy because it felt bad for Ripjaw. Ouch. Yeah, I like that trial. I'm gonna think about that. 4 Jetmir's Garden, I don't care. Lots of tapped lands, good. Oh, this is, well, can I save myself? Maybe. I mean, there's a land that I'm looking for. Yeah. Not quite. I can play Tyrranax Rex. It doesn't do a whole lot. We're hit with 5. Yeah, about 5. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, that would certainly be lovely, but they've discarded exiled one so far. We're not winning this one. Leyline of Sanctity as well. Oh, 100%. I've done Leyline of Sanctity a little bit. Oh, well, there's Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. But yeah, I have used Leyline of Sanctity just because it hurts. It hurts a lot of the decks that hurt me. If basically the only reason an opponent is winning because of Thoughtseize, which is, it's classic, fantastic. It's a fact of life, like breathing or waking up, going to sleep, the sun rising, the sun setting, and Thoughtseize. But if they can't Thoughtseize, I just get to do my thing. It doesn't matter. Maybe I keep a hand with a bunch of lands. Castle Garenbrig, 2 Sunken Citadels, maybe a forest. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm looking at 7 green, 7 mana. With those, I'm able to easily play Tyrranax Rex. I have 2 Tyrranax Rexes in that mixture to start, but then they go Thoughtseize, and then I lose it. And then they go Thoughtseize again, and I lose the second Tyrranax Rex, which I would have been able to play guaranteed with the lands that they can't discard. So Leyline of Sanctity, as long as we see it in our opening hand, we have hexproof. The opponent has nothing. Thoughtseize is a dead card. That is good. It's deadly. But Rakdos Midrange, Calamity's Wake, kind of nice. I stopped them from playing any planeswalkers or yeah, I could see myself doing that. I still like Deafening Clarion and Myrel. We land her, they can't make us sacrifice things. Sheoldred's Edict, no, not happening. Tranquil Frillback is nice as well too. You know what, I'm going to trim Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Bringing that Tranquil Frillback. I like that. But yeah, Leyline of Sanctity. I really should always consider it whenever I do splash white, which is not too often, that's for sure. Sometimes I just bring Leyline of Sanctity in, even when I have no source of white whatsoever. My source of white would be 2 Sunken Citadels, both naming white to play it. That's not very good at all. But I like this. Decent. If they have a Thoughtseize, they'll probably get rid of Carnage Tyrant, but it certainly could be a Commune. Nice to see 2. Dig for Castle Garenbrig. Hopefully I see it soon. Maybe I see a Sunken Citadel, and then I can grab a castle, and then I can get Carnage Tyrant. That's good. I almost click Tranquil Frillback. I don't want to do that. Yeah, Jetmir's Garden. Might as well at this point. But Sunken Citadel is coming up. Absolutely. I went through 8, 4. Yeah, 8. It'd be pretty unfortunate if I didn't see a Sunken, so 49 minus 8. Next turn, I will have gone through a third of the deck to still not see 1 Sunken. Just statistically rough, you could say. But yeah, with a bunch of Jetmir's Garden, some Temple Gardens, a bunch of sources of white, whether they're lands that enter tapped or not, Leyline of Sanctity going to be nice. Very nice. Whatever brings the pain to Thoughtseize or go blank. I hate go blank. And I don't like mono black discard. Sometimes that's pretty good. I barf my hand. They don't have anything to make me discard, and waste not is a waste to the opponent. Oh, the Damping Sphere. That does tend to do the trick. Castle Garenbrig sadly is not going to allow us to get down Carnage Tyrant. But we still just have to straight up play Regisaur, play the creatures out. Maybe they have Shieldred's Edict anyways. At least I have something I can play for this turn. Ooh. Ouch. That's the thing though. The second you get something they could kill, because there is none of that little stuff, they're going to kill it. Usually it's that dinosaur token or the egg from Palani's hatcher. Pretty much guaranteed. Oh, okay, not too bad. I like the looks of this. I still get it. Ripjaw Raptor should feel pretty good as well. Now they're going to double block to take out Carnage Tyrant, I bet. Or that. Interesting. Huh. Or they have Liliana or something to make us sacrifice it. Could be also a very real possibility. Okay. I'll take it. Or removal for Ripjaw. One less goblin. Fine by me. I must say, I've loved not having to really worry about Fatal Push. Pretty much everything is mana value 5 or greater. 5 or greater. And that is pretty great. Got him. Phew. Yeah, I'll keep it like that. Ghalta. Myrel, though. Maybe I do kind of like Ghalta. They certainly do a lot of stuff on their turn. Still a lot on our turn. Yeah, we'll keep it there. Fatal pushes and whatnot. If we attack on our turn and they would want to go fatal push, they couldn't if we have Myrel out. So it could save Ripjaw Raptor. That'd be pretty sweet. I'd like that. If it saves somebody from a fatal push. I mean, this is absolutely perfect. Sunken Castle, 4 lands in total, 6 green. Now, we do have to cross our fingers and hope there isn't a damping sphere, putting a damper on our chances. Phew. Oh, good. The opponent probably has 1 or 2 at most, I would imagine. A lot of people wouldn't dedicate 4 spots just to that. I'd be surprised if that was the case. Temple Garden, just in case we need it. Turn 4, Carnage Tyrant. Turn 5, Tyrranax Rex would be pretty good. Maybe a Ghalta not Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. That's still in the sideboard. That was switched out. It could have been good. The crazy stuff though. Trimming Palani's hatcher. I'm able to go Carnage Tyrant before Palani's, which is extra wacky. Commune with Dinosaurs could grab another Tyrranax Rex. That would be lovely stuff. Or I just draw that. Also nice. Something good. Another T-Rex. Make him squirm. Yeah. Another Castle Garenbrig. Maybe they have Field of Ruin. And they were going to take out the one Castle Garenbrig we had. So now it's nice to have a backup, and as long as they don't go Damping Sphere next turn, it's going to be scary. Tranquil Frillback would be nice. So possibly I could have grabbed it. If they had a Damping Sphere out, I think I certainly would have prioritized Tranquil Frillback just to destroy it. I mean, Shieldred is... that's alright. I think we're still looking okay. As long as they don't make me sacrifice this, I scare away potentially aggression from them. Or if Shieldred attacks, I'll just trade with Carnage Tyrant. Good stuff. Whatever. Fine by me. Deafening Clarion next turn to give Carnage Tyrant lifelink, plus take out the Blood Tithe Harvester. That's going to really help us stabilize, so nice that I'm finally going to be having it put in the work. Doing the good stuff. Alright. Smoke them. And more damage continues on through. I only have to deal 2 damage to get rid of Shieldred. Okay, well, I like it. Feels a lot better. Decent. If they blocked, I would have dealt 3 more to the opponent. Pretty good. Sadly, we lose another Carnage Tyrant, but hey, making them squirm a little bit at least. Oh boy. Wow, that is that's what you want to top deck. And I have 6 in total. I can pay everything. Even though there's not an artifact or enchantment to destroy. If there was, it'd be extra good. But that is extra good. That's absolutely perfect. Oh, you're not escaping Kroxa. You're not doing much of anything. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Ooh, oh, deadly. Yeah, see ya. Smoke 'em. And I have a creature, Tranquil Frillback. I can sacrifice towards a Liliana of the Veil or that Shieldred's Edict. So I get a little bit of protection on it. It's always very scary stuff when that's the only creature I have. I just cross my fingers they don't top deck some sort of sacrificing thing. Invoke Despair. Some may say Invoke Despair is not fair. It's fine. Make me discard a Ripjaw Raptor. It's like they paid 3 to Thoughtseize. I only had 1 card. They made me discard 1 card. I'm fine with that. Beat him up. I think she'll trade with Carnage Tyrant now. Yeah. Decent enough. I could easily play another Tyrranax Rex. Hopefully I see it. I've only seen 1 so far. So there's a pretty good chance. I get a Commune to get... Oh, I get a Commune to... Get it? Well, it's not Tyrranax Rex, but if you're going to play something, boom, easy, peasy. Even spending 1 green, knowing whatever creature you grab, even if it's expensive. Oh, love it. Phew. Castle Lock-Twain bringing the pain. That was good. They probably... Maybe they intentionally did that. But sometimes people forget. They're like, oh, I gotta dig. I gotta dig. They laser focus on a threat. I need to find Liliana of the Veil to make them sacrifice it. I need to find Shieldred's Edict. Oh, I'm desperate. If I don't get rid of Carnage Tyrant, I die. And then they use Castle Lock-Twain and they die. Phew. Good, we got him. I was getting a little bit worried I wasn't going to be able to use that clip tonight. Of course, I could press it for whenever, but I like to wait for a good moment. The right moment. Yeah. But yeah, Ley Line of Sanctity, certainly. That's probably next on the agenda. It's good against mono red burns. If they can't target me. If I face off against mono red burn, I have Ley Line of Sanctity. What, half their deck? A lot of their deck, maybe a third of their deck is not doing anything skewer the critics, to play with fires, all of that stuff. If there's no creature out on my side and they can't target me, a lot of their burn spells are just dead. I like this though. Pretty good. 4 lands, get to Ripjaw. Sunken is one of the 4 lands. Wow, okay, that is interesting. But it is a swamp. Worried, of course, about... oh, okay. There we go. What was I saying? Either I draw a castle or I get a commune to dig for a castle to play it. Oh, look at that. I sent the Ghalta Stampede Tyrant to the bottom and I get a replacement. Beautiful. But we'll get that Stomping Ground down next turn. Maybe I top deck a Carnage Tyrant. But at the very least, I will get to play Tyrranax Rex on turn 5. If all goes well. Oh, the pesky Field of Ruin once again. They're waiting to destroy Castle Garenbrig, you know. So, I'm just not going to do it. I still have something to play. That's what you want to be doing. Take out Sunken Citadel, do it. Castle Garenbrig certainly is more important than Sunken. You want to have both of them, but if you're going to have something live, just wait. Wait until you have to go with Castle. Until you have an explosive turn. Basically. Deafening Clarion, take out Liliana of the Veils. Could be good. Cavern of Souls, I'm going to test the waters. Try for Palani's Hatcher. Okay, everything happened pretty quick. Seems like they might have Fatal Push for the 3-3. I'm aiming to take out Liliana if at all possible. With the token, get some okay. To be expected. Darn. Maybe they play some creatures of their own. Seems like it might just be a regular mono black mid-range. Yes, it doesn't hit planeswalkers. I forgot about that point. Usually I'm used to Brotherhood's End to bring an end. Certainly have to keep Castle Garenbrig. You know what? Deafening Clarion. Because it doesn't hit planeswalkers. I mean, I like another Palani's Hatcher. This is the good thing. 2 Palani's, I crack 2 eggs, lots of lovely aggression. I think that could do the trick as well. Just go wide. Keep the pressure up. Take her out. Now the question becomes, do I want to send 3 creatures towards Liliana? One of those being Palani's Hatcher, because the Preacher guy, he would block. They could have a Fatal Push for one of the tokens. We might not get there. Make sure Liliana goes down. I hope. If I sent both tokens, the Preacher would block one token, Fatal Push on another. She'd still be sticking around. That's okay. That's good. Still lots of bodies. No Liliana. Never mind. Well, we drew out the next one, at least. Ah, shucks, I have to sacrifice an egg. Darn it. Oh boy. Oh, well. Well. This is getting interesting. Hey, you know what? Tyrranax Rex, let's do that. Much better pressure there. They can only take out one thing. Certainly the Preacher would probably block Liliana. I'm not too worried about simply discarding Myrel, though. All out aggression. Get him. Okay, so we get rid of the Preacher. That's not too bad. Okay, we don't. Surprising. I thought they might have taken that opportunity to get rid of Tyrranax Rex, or they're hoping to draw something that makes me sacrifice stuff. Odd. Huh. get rid of Myrel. I could draw something that gives Ghalta haste, potentially, or just be able to play it, but that didn't happen. Just keep up that aggression, the pressure. Where's Deafening Clarion when you like it, or when you need it? That'd be absolutely perfect right about now. Smoke everybody, Ripjaw, we draw a card, take out Murderous Rider and Graveyard Trespasser, gain a bunch of life. We certainly aren't going to be doing that with another Sunken Citadel, that's for sure, but it will pressure Liliana. One of those things is going to block at least. I like that. Play pretty much anything I draw. Jetmir's Garden. Kind of rough. Well, we're gonna... It doesn't really matter. They're gonna make us discard it anyways. I almost thought I hadn't played my land for the turn. That's why I was so excited to just get a thing on the battlefield. No more lands. It's kind of rough. I still have plenty out, so it's not the worst thing in the world. When you have 4 lands and you really need that Castle Garenbrig to stick around, and then they take it out, not the best time in the world. I don't really need that Jetmir's Garden, so I might as well not cycle it. Oh. Hey, that's how it goes. Nothing much you can do with that. But I could cycle it and maybe get something I can play for 5. For 6. So, there you go. You can see how important it is. If they weren't able to take out Castle Garenbrig, I would have been able to play Carnage Tyrant. It would have been sacrificed to Liliana, but I would have been able to play it, at least. Field of Ruin does tend to ruin my chances quite a bit, and any deck can use it, of course. It's a land, colorless. Yeah. Well, at least I will be taking out that Murderous Rider. Buy us a little bit of time. Maybe getting that Tyrranax Rex would be lovely stuff. Liliana of the Veil can't ultimate next turn, so we could have a chance to take her out before she ultimates. It doesn't happen too often. When she does, though, they separate all permanents we control into 2 piles, and that player sacrifices all permanents in the pile of our choice. That's painful. Oh, well, is this gonna be painful? Again. If they did not have Field of Ruin, I would be able to play Tyrranax Rex right now, and I would be able to pressure Liliana at least. I wouldn't take her out. Preacher of the Schism certainly would block to save him. Ripjaw. Might as well get something down at the very least before everything is sacrificed, or they just kill Ripjaw. Okay, that's usually how it goes. Maybe I top deck Tyrranax Rex. They attack with the Preacher, leave Liliana open. That could be a very real possibility. Or Deafening Clarion. Okay. That's certainly not going to do it. I would imagine next turn, they're pretty much locked up. They're going to be making that Hive of the Eye Tyrant into a 3/3. It's not going to be good for us. Somebody's getting killed. At least with Liliana's -2, Maybe a little bit of removal from the opponent as well. One of these days, they're going to realize they're in a very good position. Although they are at 6, they got a few, well, 1 creature, 2 creatures that gain life. So they shouldn't feel too worried. Maybe they have something that makes me sacrifice creatures. Certainly, I don't want to go too low. Okay, that is interesting. Huh. Well, Deafening Clarion, boom. Never mind. I almost forgot. I'm so used to, well, not using it. Regisaur Alpha, mostly. It's got 4 toughness. That was a close one. Gifted Etherborn certainly probably is the thing that would block. If I was pretty certain that Preacher would block, well, they would just probably take the damage anyways. You know what? Let's see what happens. If we don't do anything, we're certainly 100% done for next turn anyways. At the very least, they can't quite kill us. We have no cards to discard, no creatures to sacrifice. Liliana isn't doing too much. Double Castle Lockthwain. A surprising Tyrranax Rex could potentially get the job done. We've only seen one. We're almost halfway through the deck. Never mind. Exactly lethal tends to do the trick. Too high with the eye turns. But that would have been pretty sweet though. Getting Tyrranax Rex. Oh, I've done that before. Hasty 8. They're at 7, 6. They're feeling good. They're not worried. What could I possibly draw off the top that would devastate them? That would devastate them. Alright. Mono black. Midrange. Certainly don't like Preacher of the Schism. Certainly with it being 4 toughness. Out of range of that. Nah. Deafening Clarion. Perhaps. Always nice to take out the Gifted Etherborn, certainly because it has Deathtouch. But the Graveyard Trespasser, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I'll trim Myrel. Deafening Clarion really could buy us time. Tranquil Frillback, though. Kinda like it. Nah, no Tranquil Frillback. Giant Cindermaw. Yeah. One Myrel. Oh, absolutely. 100%. I want to use our Boreal Grazer. Get that forest on turn 1. Use that for our Boreal Grazer, and the additional land that I can play with its ability is a Sunken Citadel. But then Castle Garenbrig on turn 2. Yeah, or a second Arboreal Grazer on turn 2 to put a second Sunken Citadel out, and then turn 3 I could make 7. Possibly, if everything works out. There is a very, very explosive potential with the Arboreal Grazer. Ooh. It is good. And a pretty decent blocker. Being a 0/3, it gets an extra land sometimes, buys a little bit of time. Now, there's lots of lovely things, lots of stuff with pretty fantastic potential. Too many things, perhaps. Oh, that is lovely. Of course, Commune, we're going to try and grab her that Sunken Citadel. Carnage Tyrant it is. I have enough lands at this point. I can make 6 green eventually. 6 green on turn 5. Again, the Damping Sphere. People are really really on to that. Pretty classic thing, you know, Lotus Field, Mono Green Devotion. Or is it Phoenix? Is it Phoenix? Stamping Sphere is quite painful indeed, I must say. Still, at the very least, I gotta play Regisaur Alpha next turn. But this pesky Damping Sphere, it's not the most common thing, but if you have it and you see Castle Garenbrig, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be bad. It certainly makes perfect sense to bring it in. Now, does it make perfect sense to see what happens if I attack? Maybe they think there's something up my sleeve. Nah, I'd rather go with Regisaur Alpha. Possibly get to attack with Carnage Tyrant next turn, but if I'm going to sweep, I'll attack with those things. If they're going to die to Deafening Clarion next turn anyways, I'll just do that. Okay, well, not too bad. Oh, that is perfect. It's about as perfect as can be. I'll take the 2, and then I can sweep. Hey, Jetmir's Garden had to enter tapped anyways. Yeah, that's beautiful. Clear the fields. Regisaur Alpha connects. I gain 4 life. That's about a complete 180, as complete as you could hope for. I'm glad Deafening Clarion showed up at least once or twice tonight. Oh, deadly. Maybe. Sheoldred's Edict make me sacrifice. Oh, maybe not. Something's taking out Regisaur Alpha, I bet. Yeah. Jam 4 Regisaur Alphas, 4 Palani's Hatcher, because if you can give haste to everybody, those things certainly go down. You don't get to attack with stuff. I was like as many options as possible for haste. Keep up that aggression. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Get him. Have no fear. Damping Sphere doesn't stop this. Oh, nuts. Take them both out. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Went as good as I could have hoped. Although a lot of creatures, the Giant Cindermaw, 3 toughness, Palani's Hatcher, and the tokens, not so good. Kind of painful sometimes. Keep it as is. See how she goes. Yeah, at some point, we'll try that Arboreal Grazer. Not tonight, but ooh. If maybe this Deafening Clarion was Commune with Dinosaurs. I like seeing Jetmir's. It's a forest for Castle Garenbrig. It's a source of white for the Deafening. It can be better. Kinda better-ish. Certainly sending 1 Ghalta Stampede Tyrant to the bottom. Big time. Oh, no Thoughtseize on turn 1. That's pretty good. They certainly would have ripped Commune, so hopefully I get to turn it into something good. Really should have been bringing in Tranquil Frillback with that Damping Sphere. 100%. Interesting that I'm seeing it twice in a night. That doesn't always happen, but it's certainly on my radar big time. And I think just because Explorer isn't too popular, it's got a small size of people that always play it, and perhaps I tend to play these people. I know I tend to play the same people over and over again, and perhaps they're wise to my ways, potentially facing this explosive dinosaur deck. So they hurt me, but they also hurt the classic stuff, the Mono green Devotion. Yeah. Could have been good-ish. At the very least, we'll get some good aggression. Hopefully Palani's Hatcher is still sticking around next turn, and then I can go with Carnage Tyrant. Ghalta Primal Hunger would it be quite fantastic though. Ooh, there it is. There it is. Where's that ley line of sanctity when you need it? I still got lots of good stuff. Rakdos though, a 4/4 flying lifelink. Pretty painful, especially when the main way of getting rid of stuff only does 3 damage. Nah. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, we're going to be held off that for a little bit, unfortunately. Well, Sunken always enters tapped. Might as well choose red. That's pretty good aggression, I would think. They only have 2 things left. Hopefully it's not removal on Palani's Hatcher. It would be nice if everybody stuck around. I got to keep up this good aggression. Perhaps we'll get the job done that way. You never know. I feel pretty safe being at 12, but they do have a lot of potential life gain each turn. So it will be nice to chip away. One of these days. Ooh. Well, they have nothing left, and I can play just about anything. Carnage Tyrant would be lovely. I can play Tyrranax Rex. I will have 7 mana available. Deafening Clarion is, well, not doing a whole lot. I could give lifelink to everybody. Might be nice. Might have been nice. Go for it. At this point, certainly with Shieldred and being down to 4. Our chances are no more. Ooh. Ouch. Painful. Painful. Well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes, unfortunately. Still a good time, no matter what. Talking about something, whether it's as refined as humanly possible, that's okay. Or it's unrefined. Make it work. Always room for improvement, whether I've been playing something exactly for months. Tweaking. Could always keep tweaking, I would imagine. Alright, I'll leave it there for tonight. Hopefully all you guys watching right now later on had a good time. Have a good rest of your time zone. See you next time. Tomorrow night, I think. Maybe it's going to be Arboreal Grazer, but pretty sure, almost certain, it's going to be Up the Beanstalk Dinosaurs, the regular Stampede list that I've been using, because Up the Beanstalk, that is good. Herbivore Dinos, that's what I'm calling it right now. But if you guys have a better name for it, certainly I'm all ears. Eat your veggies. See you next time. Peace.